What are the reasons that you came out? What drew you out here tonight?
Well, the fact that this has nothing to do at all with repairing the budget. Obviously, there are rumors right now going around saying he donated, or he gave $142 million of our money to special interests, hence creating this quote-unquote budget deficit. Right now, this isn't about a deficit. A lot of the union workers here, the public ones, have said they're fine with contributing more to their pensions, contributing more to their health care. They're fine with that. What they're not fine with is taking their right to organize against whatever they want away.
What was the spark for you? I mean, in terms of bringing you out here to the rotunda, what was it? Your political interest in this? Was it also the fact that it's this dynamic student movement and there's a wonderful vibe here tonight?
Well, when Scott Walker got elected, I wasn't for him then, so I was already angry, I guess you would have to say. But this was the tip of the iceberg. Friday, when it came out, I work in housing with a lot of these public workers, and they weren't happy. The way Scott Walker makes it sound like they're living luxurious lives and not paying for any of it. They're just taking and not giving. That probably was the tip of the iceberg right there. I just couldn't take it anymore.
What do you expect we'll see tomorrow in terms of numbers of demonstrators inside and outside the Capitol?
Well, today I heard estimates about 30,000. I don't know how true that is. I know about 4,000 students marched down State Street today in our walkout to protest Scott Walker's attack on the unions. But what I've been hearing also is unions throughout the country are supposed to show up tomorrow and this weekend. So I'm expecting more people to be here, and it's a Friday, so a lot of students don't have class. And the teachers union in Madison still is not going to school. They're still closed.
Republicans like Walker have taken over a lot of legislatures all across the country and many governor's mansions too. Is this going to be a battle that's going to be unfolding across the country, or are we seeing an epicenter of labor versus business interest here?
Well, I think it's a countrywide thing right now, because this is happening not only in Wisconsin, but in Ohio and Indiana. Similar movements are happening there. I know the president made comments today about how Scott Walker shouldn't make the public workers a scapegoat for the deficit in the Wisconsin budget.
What are the immediate goals of the demonstrations? What are the long-term goals?
I think the long-term goal is to protect organized labor.
Yeah.
And right now, the short-term goal is to defeat this ban on collective bargaining. So they go hand in hand, but right now they're focusing on defeating this bill. But in the long term, it's about preserving any worker's right in a union to organize.
Of course, in the short term, right, I mean, the Democratic votes are not there in the state Senate, right? I mean, they had to exit the state. Can the short-term goal be reached, given that the votes might not be there?
Well, personally, I say you stay away until the Republicans are willing to compromise. Scott Walker has come out and said he refuses to compromise.
Yeah.
So he can't talk about how the Democrats aren't participating in the process when he himself isn't willing to come to the table and discuss things. Where's the democratic process in that?
Walker said at one point, or threatened, that he would call in the National Guard if things got ugly. Was that a true threat, or was that just him spouting off words he shouldn't have?
Personally, what I understood it to be, if the state workers went on strike, they'd be called up to take their place to work in prisons and such, if it happened.
I see.
I don't personally think he would use it to strike down the union organization, but you never know. Not many people saw this coming immediately into his term.
Right. We've been hearing hints. We outside of Wisconsin have been hearing hints, learning hints about how Wisconsin has been kind of a labor leader for decades in the Midwest, in the United States. I mean, What do you know? What can you tell me about the legacy of labor in the state? Of organized labor, I should say.
I can't say I'm an expert in the history of labor unions, but I know it does have a strong history. It goes back to the 1930s. You know, we still have law firms in this state that specialize